cheese player that way. And I really love chameleons because they stealth, and you can also cheese with chameleons. They're a little bit Dark Templar-ish. And by the way, all of these maps are randomly generated, which means every single game you play is going to be different. So it means that exploration at the start of the match is an extremely important thing. You need to figure out where your opponent is and whether or not, what type of entrances and exits they have to their base and what type of entrances and exits we have to our base. So I'm going to burrow home here to build my next farm. Now that I just about have 60 food, I'm going to build even another farm here. He has a base that is kind of downhill from a ledge there, which is actually really great for me. On the other hand, my base is kind of in this basin area with not a whole lot going on nearby, unless hopefully there's another potential expansion over here. There's not, so it's pretty clear where I'm going to have to expand to, but I'm going to have to also defend my back door because I've got an exposed back door. So I'm actually, even though he's in a pretty terrible position, I think I'm in an even worse position. He did just build a turret, and typically if your opponent is building turrets, it means that they're afraid you're going to attack them, and they're wasting their food. If you don't attack them, it means that they're wasting their food on stuff that doesn't matter. So he builds that turret, and actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this opportunity to build a tier 2 unit, a chameleon unit that I'm going to use to sneak right past that turret.
There's a question about, or Xenocoop mentions that currently there's no matchmaking in the game, so you will need to join the chat. That is true for our alpha. If you want to find people to play online, you will have to go to our alpha community. It's pocketwatchgames.com/chat. There was a huge community. I mean, I think we're averaging almost like 100 players, 100 people in the Discord daily. So
that's great.
Go in there, find someone. There's always someone on, and you can ask them if you want to play a match. What we're working on are the matchmaking systems for the live release. So when we go live, we will have ranked for you to play, so you won't have to go through the Discord. But we always encourage you to join the community because there's a ton of activity there. Queue checks for money, right? Oh, so Talent No Name's asking how queuing works. We've mentioned in the past how we feature sort of an automated build system to reduce the amount of micro in the game. Basically, all of the Warrens build units automatically up until a certain number. So low tier units will build up to 3 units, and the high tier structures will build only 1 of those units. This makes it so you don't have to go and constantly queue up squirrels every time you want to build squirrels or lizards, right?
Yeah.
On a flip side of that, we noticed that a lot of players will notice that their economy is draining every time their units die, and sometimes they need to spend that economy to get even more farms in order to make their economy grow. So what queuing allows you to do is override that automatic spending. It won't spend any money until you can afford that first farm, then build the farm, and then it'll go back into automatic spending. But you can only queue 1 farm at a time, and you can only queue farms. So let's see what Andy has here. Andy's using the new super lizards, and I describe them this way because we've given them the ability to hit air and a little bit of range as an experiment to see if lizards were the one problem that made it so that squirrel was such a common strategy. And we've tested this in the office multiple times before we set it live. Lizards will beat squirrels in every single fight, 3, 6, 9, all the way up to 21. They will win every single time, and very clearly. So lizards are a very powerful unit, and yet we're still seeing people prefer squirrels over lizards because of how they synergize with other units, which is great. Which means that the intention of the lizard was always to make it so that they were more of a flanking unit, a hit and run tactics type unit, and a unit that basically disrupted the opponent's sort of idea of where you were, and they're working great in for that.
Do you notice I just I used my chameleons to sneak in, take out some farms, and then run away.
Yeah, that was some good usage.
You did a chameleon snipe there?
Yeah, little chameleon snipe. And he's trying to expand to the central area, and I do not want him to be able to fortify this hill. So I need to die on this hill, so to speak.
Oh, sweet. Score Pooler, you say you know this game from the PC Gamer podcast. Well,
sweet.
I believe that is the Andy Schatz. You were on that PC Gamer podcast.
Sure was.
And this is precisely that game. So thank you for taking note of it. And if you were impressed by what you saw, you can always join our chat. PocketWatchGames.com/chat. That is how you get into the alpha. The information is also on the bottom of the stream. with the sweet new widgets that Adam up here has drawn for us.
Oh yeah, there they are.
I do not like that he's got that up now, and he's got a very strong force. I do not like this. It puts me in a very tough spot. He's got air now, so I'm a little worried that my only way to really take out that air is lizards, so I'm gonna have to go heavy on lizards again. Oops, no.
So the air right now, in the past, air was serving more of a problem of, do I have the units to stop this?
Right.
And that was problematic because there were not a lot of answers for that. But now I believe Andy's biggest problem is not, do I have the units to stop this? It's, how is he going to use that air? Because the worst thing that could possibly happen now is those Falcons hit him in a spot where he's not in because their mobility is so great. And now Andy has to run and chase just to deny it. And then they get out of the way before he can even get there. That's a huge problem. So that to me is a better use of, or sort of a better idea of what we wanted out of flying, rather than like, I'm gonna check to see if you drafted this one unit or not. Thank you again for following us, Medusa.
Yes.
I really appreciate that follow. Thank you so much. Owl hype, huh? Do we have owls? Ooh, okay, so we got owls in here. I'm glad you're bringing them out too. For those of you who are following the game enough to know about the recent patches. Oh, and that's precisely what I had just talked about. The Falcons' biggest issue is their threat and ability to hit you when you're not in position.
Yep. That's exactly what happened.
That's exactly what happened. Andy can.
No.
He baits you.
No, shoot.
Wow, what a bait, man. Those are the kind of tactics that we want to see win games. Things like, you think you have me, but I just set up this trap, and Andy just gets his entire, like, a huge chunk of his lizard army.
Get out of here. No. He's got this. He's going to win this. Durg is good.
Durg is good.
Wow.
Godlike Durg.
Holy cow.
I love this. Would we like to see Durgrobach versus Cube, or is that just a little too soon?
No, let's see it. I want to see it.
Okay. Taki No Name says, do you know the enemy's unit types before they start the match, or do you know what they have only after you see in the battlefield? You only know what they have after you see it in the battlefield because that's part of the hidden information. It's the idea that you adapt to what you see during the match. Think about it like in a real war.